Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul, and today we're going to look at 5 things that you can do to make your turbo system better. Just to give you guys some background, I've had 3 turbo setups, 2 of which were on 3 systems, and now on this car it's basically a custom setup. But the 5 things we're going to talk about will relate to any turbo setup. So let's start with the most important and work our way back.
Number 1 and 2 were very close for me, but I definitely think that the most important part to any turbo setup is that your piping is nice and in a relaxed state, because that's going to prevent your cracking down the road, leaks, etc. So for my current setup, as you guys can see here, there's a lot of mock-up work done, and it is Lego. This will go on and off as many times as need be, and it'll still be in perfect condition. Moving on to number 2, which kind of ties into number 1, is bracing your turbo setup. This is how we did it on my current car. Give you guys a different angle here in a second. I tried looking for some of the pics of the On3 turbo bracket that was made for my previous setups, but I couldn't find any. In this case here, the brace is going to pick up the weight of the T6, which is extremely heavy, and transfer it all to this bar that's running from frame rail to frame rail. That's going to keep, you know, the crossover in a nice relaxed state and no pressure. Because what's going to happen over time and with heat cycles, if you don't have a brace in place, is eventually something, you know, the constant pressure, the weight down, and with the heat cycles, the metal is going to bend and something is going to crack. So this is just preventative maintenance. It's going to prolong your kit, and again, you can see it going from frame rail to frame rail. And then it's just kind of slipped underneath the collector flange there, and that is again picking up the weight. And yeah, I should have no problems here, even with a big heavy T6. So moving on to item number 3, if you're going to do a turbo system and you're running a full exhaust, then you got to consider doing an electric cutout. There's numerous advantages to it, and probably the only con that I can really think about is the cost. Yes, it's a little pricey. It's going to cost you a few extra bucks to get in there, but the pros are going to definitely outweigh the cons. You know, the air is going to take the path of least resistance, so with it open, you're going to obtain the maximum power of the turbo setup. Of course, if you are running on the street and you want to keep your car nice and quiet, you close it up and now you have a sleeper. So I definitely think it's worthwhile. All right, so moving on to item number 4, and that's controlling the heat. That is a downfall of a turbo setup. This is my buddy Tommy's car, who's currently installing an On3 kit. And you can see here he's doing a great job with wrapping his downpipe. This is an On3 turbo kit, and you know the intake pipe obviously shoots across like so. So you want to try to control this heat as much as possible. He's got a turbo blanket on there. My previous setup, I did the same as Tommy. I did switch the bag. I wasn't really happy with the On3 turbo bag. It actually disintegrated on me, so I ended up changing the bag, got a better bag, and I added some heat reflective tape here. You want to obviously try to keep this pipe cool for obvious reasons. You know, that's being sucked right into your motor, so cooler the air, more power it's going to make. Other options that you may want to consider is heat treating your you know, your piping. I heat treated mine, especially the hot side. That was done both inside and outside. The cold side, you can see, was just done on the outside. And of course you can use this in conjunction with you know, your heat wrap or reflective tape. I personally not a fan of wrapping the headers, but that's just my take. I know there's some differing thoughts on wrapping your headers, but I'm not going to get into that. So just wrapping up item 4, having a good turbo blanket, heat wrapping, heat coating, you know, doing all these little things, that's certainly going to help control the heat and further improve your turbo setup. So item number 5 is going to be the air filter / protective device that you choose to run on your turbo setup. I've tried them all, dyno tested them, and I found that this one was the most restrictive kind of style. When I switched to the fine mesh filter like this one here, I saw a 10 horsepower increase on the dyno. This is a great filter. It's pretty tight mesh. Chances of getting a rock through that are slim. It's going to have to be a very small pebble, but there's still that little bit of risk. And then I've also tried the bigger mesh. Obviously this one is a little bit riskier with the holes being that much larger, but I saw yet another 10 horsepower increase going with this bigger honeycomb style. Overall, item number 5 is going to come down to personal preference, what you're most comfortable with. But again, that's going to be ultimately your choice.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully the 5 tips were useful. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, you guys know what to do. Give the video a like, drop in a comment, smash the subscribe button. And as always, we appreciate all you guys, and we'll see you again on Paul the Fox.